I remember growing up in a church where everybody was up at that altar praying, each altar call. And even before service, when they had prayer requests, everybody was up praying. Not a single person in seats. But one day, this woman come in, wretched of sinners, probably one of the worst. Been in and out of church, I know, of 20 times from the time I was 6 until by the time I was about 20. And I've just started preaching when I was 20 years old, and she sung a song by Jason Craft, Please Forgive Me. And she was up there, and she's like, well, you know, they say I'm nothing, but God says I'm something. And she ended up praying through that night and coming up. And I was the only person in that church that was full of Christians that prayed for everybody else, but wouldn't pray for her. And I was the only one that stuck with it. And after church, it came up to me. It's like, why would you even do that? You know she's going to be out again. I said, yeah, if you tell her she's going to be out again. But we need to encourage and we need to lift up. You know, it's not easy being a Christian. I'm not going to lie to you. If you don't know the Lord tonight, it's not easy. The devil's going to come against you at every whim, every turn. Just like I preached a few days ago. You know, the devil wants to stop you because he knows your potential and he knows what you can do. And he's wanting to quit. He's wanting you to quit before you get there. So he will try any way to discourage you. Through yourself, bringing past things up. Whatever it takes, he'll do anything to make you quit. So we need encouragement along the way. Sometimes we're going to stumble, and sometimes we're going to fall. I'll never forget, I grew up in church all my life. But from 16 to 18, I quit going to church. Now I'm going to tell you something a little bit about me that I've never told anybody on these broadcasts. But whenever I was 18, I got back into church. But for 2 years, I never said one single cuss word my whole entire life growing up until I was 16 years old. But from 16 to 18, if you made me mad, I'd soon cuss you out, just look at you. But when I was 18, I just got into church, and the cussing was the biggest thing for me, even though I didn't do it but 2 years of my life. It kind of made me feel a whole lot better by telling people what I thought at first, but in the long run, I knew it was wrong. But I was working down McDonald's. I got mad at the manager one day, and I just had got back into church about a week or two earlier. And I was telling everybody, it's a hard thing for me to give up, and I need prayer for this because I confessed it to everybody. I said, I've never done it my whole entire life, but the last 2 years I have. And sometimes when I get angry, things just slip out. And I'll never forget whenever I got really mad at one of the managers at McDonald's. And I cussed her out, told her where she can go, called her a few choice names. Come back in after work, threw my uniforms at her, and I said what she can do with her uniforms. And then I walked out. Everybody heard me. Everybody knew I just got back into church, and they was like, Billy's doing that. And a couple people at church told me, after I told them what I done, they said, we all stumble and we all fall. And sometimes it's the hardest thing to do is pick back up. But all you gotta do is just have that advocate with the Father, which is Jesus Christ, and just begin to confess, and He'll forgive you. And I remember that night, still struggled with it for about a year, from time to time, but every time I failed, I would go back to the Lord and just say, God, I know I made a mistake. That's all that we can do tonight, is go to the Lord and say, God, I made a mistake. But you know what? Because I was trying to do it on my own. I was trying to give up that thing on my own. You know, that's why a lot of you people that's got addictions and things that you can't get rid of, because you're trying to give them up on your own. But as soon as I come one day and come to God, I said, God, it's not in my hands anymore. I give it to you. And He took that desire away. You see, that's what's got to happen. God's got to take that desire away.